Ah, hell. I'm in the wrong game again. Hello everyone, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. I'm back from vacation. As you can see, I'm bringing more and no more future to you. And as always, I've got Sedge with me.
Hey, I'm Sedge. I was not on vacation.
Sedge was busy making his game.
Yep. Very, very, very busy. Oh, dear Lord.
People really like Apollo, by the way, because he's adorable.
Yeah, I've seen. I'm
But
glad. He's one of my favorite characters too. He looks so dapper and cute.
and so you said last time we spoke, you said we were gonna meet a new character in the next episode.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. All right. So you'll voice. Who are you voicing?
Pretty much everybody but the MC.
Okay, cool. All right, let's do it. Starting my little timer. Okay. Once outside, you turn to face your new acquaintance once again. Well, let's make you to take the stairs, I guess. It's very nice talking with you, though. I definitely look forward to hanging out with you again in the future. The lamb shares with you a warm and happy smile. Maybe a little expectant, too.
Come on. You have so many questions about me and my sister. The least I can do is introduce you to it.
Well, that came out of nowhere. Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm sure she wouldn't mind. We never have anyone over for dinner, or for anything, really. I'm sure she'd enjoy your company. I know I do.
Almost as if suddenly realizing how sudden his invitation is, Apollo begins to nervously scratch the back of his neck, turning his meek gaze to the ground.
I mean, I don't want to pressure you or anything. The last thing I want after everything you did for me tonight is to...
Sure. I don't see why that would be a problem. After all, it's not like he had any grand plans for tonight. Plus, someone needs to tell this Daphne what sort of troubles her brother went through before he forgets.
Hey, you... I mean, that's awesome. Here, give me a second.
The lamb approaches one of the doors closest to the elevator, which likely leads to the apartment where the two siblings live together. He lightly knocks on the door a couple times, with dubious efficacy.
Daphne, I'm home.
Nothing. Not even a hint of a sound comes from beyond the wooden entrance. Could it be that the place is empty? The late hour suggests otherwise, but knowing that she does catering and that she's apparently a very tough worker, well, you wouldn't put it past her employer to force her to work overtime is all. Seeing as the lamb isn't really doing anything but idling around without a care in the world, you decide to press the doorbell right next to the entrance in case that could help. However, as you're about to do just that... Oh, wow.
Hello? Is that...
Wait, what? Before you can even process what you're witnessing, the girl rushes forward and embraces her brother as hard as she can.
So worried. Why do you leave? You know it's dangerous out there at this hour. No, it's okay. We can talk about it later if you want. For now, how about we just...
Before she can finish her sentence, the human, finally notices you, and her expression does a complete 180.
Ooh, what is this?
God damn it, are you fucking kidding me now? Apollo seems completely oblivious to your mutual discomfort as he tries to introduce you to each other.
Oh, him? Don't worry, Daphne. His name is Isaac, and he's...
The human puts herself in between you two, like a lioness would before her cubs. She may be small by your newfound standards, but her gaze is as fierce as can be. She's definitely scarier than those thieves from earlier, that's for sure.
Paul, I think I left a pot full of water on the stove. Can you go look at it for me for a while?
Yep, you can already smell the trouble brewing from here. Literally.
Are you sure, Daphne? Isaac? Please.
The lamb turns to look at you for a moment with uncertain eyes. He tries to reason with the human for a while, but ultimately can do nothing but heed her advice and step inside the house. Before he leaves, the young man sends you one last smile and a few words of encouragement.
Don't worry, you got this.
Without another word, Apollo closes the door behind him and leaves you and his sister to your devices. And then there were two. Can't say you're liking where your curiosity landed you. You're not sure what you're supposed to be more stunned by, her appearance or her temper. The young girl gives you an ice-cold stare, inspecting you from top to bottom without saying a word. It feels so surreal, actually standing face to face with one of them, a human. They're supposed to be a genetic and statistic anomaly, a 1 in a million occurrence, oftentimes even rarer than that. In a way, it's sort of like looking in a twisted mirror. She's a living reminder of what humanity used to look like before the shift over 100 years ago. You've never seen one of them in the flesh, and you were almost certain you'd never see one in the future either. All the humans you remember were either pictures on an ebook or paintings in a metaverse, which is fitting considering that she looks like a piece of modern art itself. Her body, although completely devoid of fur, feathers, or scales, is more or less what you'd expect from someone her age. Her choice of attire, on the other hand, is questionable, to say the least. What is truly unsettling, however, is her face. It looks like a white canvas where a child drew a pair of cold, piercing, blood-red eyes and a thin line for a mouth. Where in the world her nose disappeared to is another question entirely. You're not exactly an expert on human anatomy, but even you can ascertain that something's clearly unique about her. Maybe you're being a tad too judgmental, all things considered. However, it's hard to feel remorseful when she's being just as, if not even more judgmental than you. That hatred in her eyes leaves no doubt as to her feelings towards you, as well as her intentions.
What do you want?
The girl's been silent for so long, you almost don't notice when she finally speaks up. You're pretty sure that she asked a question just now, though her tone made it seem more like a statement. Look,
Listen, there's two kinds of people in this world. There's the people who don't have a problem with us, and then there's the people who do. Depending on which group you fit into, you're either going to leave on your own, or I'm going to have to force you to.
The more this girl speaks, the more you can feel your rage building up inside you. Whatever problem you think I have with you two, I don't. You got the wrong guy.
Yeah, I can tell that much. If all us here start throwing hands, you'll already be on your way back to the lobby in pieces.
Who in the world does this asshole think she is?
Well, I guess that means we're done then. So long.
Just like that, without so much as looking you in the eye, the human turns around, opens the door, and tries to get inside her apartment. But you aren't going to let her go that easy. Before even you can realize it, you've already grabbed her by the arm, a furious look in your eyes. What the hell is your problem? For a moment, the girl looks stunned as she realizes what you just did. However, it doesn't take long for her to free herself from your grasp, clenching her fists tightly as she does so.
What the hell's my problem?
It's me, right? I can tell. I'm your problem. Am I not? God knows I've been everybody's problem lately for whatever reason. For the first time since the beginning of this heated screaming contest, the girl looks genuinely speechless. You're a little unsure yourself. Ranting at someone like this doesn't feel like something you'd ordinarily do. But you've been enduring this nonsense all day today, and you were bound to explode at some point. This asshole yelling at you for defending her brother was simply the last straw. You know, at least all the others had the decency of hating me in silence. Leaving quietly whenever I show up, staring hatefully at me from afar, keeping all their awful thoughts to themselves. But no, you just have to be upfront about how much you hate me, huh? All because I'm no longer alive like the rest of you? Because I'm no longer human like the rest of you?
What the fuck are you talking about? I don't...
Fuck you! I've had enough of this nonsense. If you're gonna hate me just because of what I've become, at least say that to my face, instead of hiding behind all this passive-aggressive bullshit. It's not like I give a damn either way. I definitely didn't save your brother from those thugs earlier because I cared about the shitty opinions of people like you. You feel like you're out of breath, even though breathing is the last of your concerns right now. But that's okay. You said all that needed to be said. You should probably leave this asshole behind and head back to your apartment now. You'd rather wait and see her reaction first, if only to claim a moral victory over her in the end. So, go on, I'm listening. Say what you want to say and be done with it. The girl remains quiet for a while, hesitating to speak up. Either you left her thoroughly speechless, or she's busy mulling over your words in silence, or both. Just as you're about to press her again, she finally asks a question that you weren't quite expecting.
Some thugs really try to attack Apollo? You're not kidding, right?
The question came so out of left field, it takes you a while to answer. If you really care, yes, some assholes were attacking him, so I knocked them out and let him bring me here. Happy now?
There's no way you did that.
It takes everything you have not to break out in laughter. This human is either irredeemably in denial or tremendously stubborn. I'm a 6'6" android covered in steel and titanium alloys from head to toe. You really think I can't handle myself in a fight?
So you couldn't. I'm just saying you didn't.
And why wouldn't I? And why wouldn't I do it, huh? Now it's the girl's turn to raise her voice, the strength of her vocal cords being more than enough to stun you.
You think everyone who comes up to our place here drink tea and play some zombie sniper or something? Look around you. You see any doors opening up? Anybody willing to check out the mess we're making?
You take a brief look around you, as the girl invited you to. The hallway is as empty as a modern art museum, just as she claimed it would be. Odd, given the ruckus you've been causing. There's no way into the building, or at least this floor, could be oblivious to you two.
Nobody can check up on us. We can start killing each other right here and now, and no one will bat an eye. After all, they can tell it's me who's getting rid of some weird-looking robot thing. You think I give a shit about that? You act like what you claimed you did was normal, but it wasn't. But stop acting so high and mighty, because you don't know jack shit about us.
After the human's done with her rant, a long silence follows. You don't think either of you or the girl has anything left to shout. You were quite thorough with your arguments. All you can do is look each other in the eyes, or your visor in her case, uncertain of where to go from here. You're still quite mad with her. She did say some pretty awful things after all. And yet, you feel like you understand her a little better now, somehow.
You're saying you really helped my brother out?
Her voice feels so much clearer now, almost like it was back when she welcomed Apollo back home. It still has a little bit of an edge to it, but it's not sharp enough to cut you anymore. Would you like to go ask him yourself, assuming he hasn't already forgotten about it, that is?
How do you... Of course you know about that. Do you mind?
Might as well. Go right on ahead.
Alright, give me a minute.
Without further ado, the now quiet lady steps inside, leaving you hanging outside of the door. Looks like she can entertain reasonable conversations after all, at least whenever she feels like it. Despite her request to wait for a minute, she doesn't even take half of one for her to return. She doesn't look any different than how she did before, but her gaze is now facing the ground instead of your visor.
Fucked up, didn't I?
Her tone sounds apologetic, or at least it tries to be. There's no more animosity in her voice, just a lot of awkwardness. You can say that again. I gotta say, I definitely didn't expect all that from the way Apollo described you.
Yeah.
Although...
Hmm?
I know it sounds weird, but I think I kinda get it. I'm still not totally over your outburst just now, but I get it now. You've met a lot of awful people, haven't you? People who had no qualms with hurting both you and your brother, made you feel like outcasts and exiles. I can tell. I've been in the same boat for the last 2 weeks. No, well, before that even. I know how it feels to be in your position, and I can imagine what you must have felt when you saw me show up at your doorstep unannounced like that.
Is the string frozen or something?
Oh, I just didn't hear you.
Oh, yeah, I said icy.
Okay.
Well.
The girl keeps staring at the floor for a while, unsure of how to respond.
Well, it's not a lot of good that does me. Knowing understand doesn't change the fact they try to scare off the only person. You're a person, right?
Last I checked.
Right. The only person who actually helped us out when we needed it. When he needed it. And so... fucking useless.
Useless isn't the word you'd use. An idiot would probably be a far more apt description. But at the very least, she seems willing to own up to her mistakes. You can respect that much at least. Seeing as she doesn't seem to know what to say next, you decide to help her out a little. Show her a little kindness, since you're feeling generous tonight. Rough as you may have been, at least you can claim you were acting in your brother's best interests. Better than most other people I've met tonight, at least. Plus, it's not like I was any nicer to you than you were to me. The girl laughs off your comment as she shakes her head.
You think any of that hurt me? If I could handle a few mean words, I'd never be able to live that down. If anything, I'm glad you didn't break some of your silly steel alloys or whatever, trying to punch down a little on me.
This girl sure is full of herself, far more than you'd normally be able to tolerate. Although, something tells you that this isn't mere bravado speaking. Her cockiness is backed up by unwavering courage and determination, even in the face of someone as scary as you. She's definitely got more character than most people out there, you'll give her that.
Well, I guess I owe you an apology. As well as some thanks for helping Apollo out when I couldn't. I know you probably just want to leave and be done with us for good, but Apollo did say he wanted to invite you over for dinner. We're not a three-star restaurant by any means, but at least I can offer to pay you for the trouble you went through on his behalf.
You could just tell her to fuck off and head straight to your apartment, you reason. It wouldn't be uncalled for, especially after everything you've had to endure tonight. But then, what are you gonna do afterwards? It's not like there's anything left for you there, just an empty, lonely house. You have no friends to call, no games you feel like playing. You could head to bed early, but that's just as sad as an alternative as doing nothing. It's true that both Apollo and his sister have given you plenty of reasons to want nothing to do with them, but at the same time, they also give you plenty of reasons to be interested in them. Apollo has been nothing but sweet the whole night, while his sister, though extremely overprotective, seems like someone you'd love to chat and have a beer with. Judging from her expression, she probably expects you to leave, like she's already resigned herself to the fact that you'll never want to see either of them again. And you don't feel like proving her right. I hope you guys have better games laying around than Zombie Sniper. Daphne's expression clearly shows how unexpected that answer is to her. However, after a few seconds of incredulity, she simply snorts as she motions for you to follow her inside.
Of course we do. What kind of loser are you taking me for? Now get in already. I got plenty of fighting games and I can't wait to kick your ass in all of them.
Fighting games. Reminds you of your late high school years, when you spent your afternoons playing at your friend's house while his family was away. Everything felt so much simpler back then. Well, at least winning against raging children online was. Maybe mopping the floor with this girl is exactly what you need to end your night on a positive note. With these comforting thoughts in mind, you step past the threshold to the two siblings' abode. The pair's apartment is warm, cozy, and surprisingly homely. Almost feels like an autumnal grove, with so many delicate beiges and browns coloring the place. A long orange carpet lies on the floor, while old-looking memorabilia spy on you from a half-hidden corner. A small brown sofa lies in the middle of the room before a short-legged table, looking directly at an old-fashioned wooden drawer with a large screen on top. You can see lots of gaming equipment within the drawer and above the table, including a high-tech VR headset the likes of which you could only dream of back when you still lived and breathed. Looks like finding ways to pass the time won't be an issue around these parts. In the back lies the kitchen, where you can see Apollo hard at work fiddling with pots, pans, and fiery stoves.
Hey, you sure took some time. Everything alright?
Spoken like someone who didn't run off as soon as things started heating up, or maybe like someone who already forgot he did that in the first place. Yeah, we're cool. Upon noticing that you're there, the lamb's eyes widen in surprise. Oh, were you speaking? Hello? Hey, folks, I think we may be having some technical difficulties. Just bear with us. Uh-oh. And recording. Hello, everyone, we're back. My net cut out, and it ended the call, but we're back again. Sedge, can you test your voice?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Testing.
There we go,
Okay.
perfect. Alright, guys. Let's jump right back into it. Upon noticing that you're there, the lamb's eyes widen in surprise.
Isaac, you're here. I'm so glad. I didn't expect you to actually come visit tonight. Does this mean you and my sister are friends now?
Not quite, no, though you imagine it's not a very nice thing to say out loud. Before you can explain yourself to the young man, his sister steps forward to reply in your stead.
Something like that. But really, all I did was invite him for dinner. That's what you wanted, right? Of course! I'm so happy to hear that. The last time we did it for free was...
Instead of answering his own query, the lamb suddenly quiets down as his face turns darker. Whatever he's thinking about, you can imagine it being very nice. Daphne runs to her brother's side, putting an arm around his back in an attempt to comfort him.
Come on, don't look so glum. Not in front of our guest. We'll have a nice dinner tonight together, alright? Just like old times.
After a while, the lamb calms down and the light returns to his eyes. His sister did a great job comforting him, though from what, you still cannot say. The young man then turns to address you once again, a happy look on his carefree face.
Right. I guess we always cook more than we need, didn't I? I guess I get an opportunity to show you after all.
A very happy look on his face indeed, almost unnaturally so. He acts like he didn't just narrowly avoid some sort of existential crisis. Could it be that he already forgot all about it in 3 seconds flat? You turn to face Daphne, hoping to find out something from her, but the girl looks as calm as can be, if only a little uncertain. She at least seems to be aware of what just happened, which does confirm that this isn't another case of your paranoia acting up. There's something truly strange about that boy, beyond his sudden bouts of amnesia, although the memory loss is definitely connected to it. Whatever it could be, however, you can't even fathom or guess it.
Anyway, you should probably get back to that stove before something happens to the food.
Oh, right.
Spurred on by his sister's reminder, the lamb rushes back to the kitchen, leaving you and the human alone in the living room.
We're having spaghetti and meatballs tonight, by the way. Is that fine of you, Isaac? We also have leftovers in the fridge if you prefer something else.
I'll take the spaghetti, thank you. Again, it really doesn't matter what food they offer you. You could skip on this meal entirely if you so wished. But it'd be criminal to refuse their offer, especially when the aroma emanating from the stove is so good. While your synthetic nose goes ham on the intoxicating allure of the meatballs cooking in the oil, you spot Daphne grabbing some old-school controllers from the drawer underneath the screen, beckoning for your assistance.
On having set this thing up. Your ass will be grass and sewing, you know.
Are you sure? I wouldn't want Apollo to feel left behind while we play. Upon hearing your concerns, the lamb shyly replies from the kitchen.
Oh, thanks for the offer, but I think I have to turn it down. Sounds to keep an eye on all these goodies. I don't mind if you guys want to do a couple rounds before dinner. It should only be 10 minutes before everything's ready anyway.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Have fun for me too, alright? I'll cheer you on from over here.
And with that, the young man returns to his work at the hot stove, roasting meatballs and tomato sauce and whatnot. You're still a little unconvinced, and it'd be rude to refuse Daphne's offer now that Apollo's given you the all-clear. In the end, you decide to just honor the two's wishes and give the cocky girl the beating she's looking for. You slowly approach the drawer, where the human is still busy trying to turn on the video game console hooked up to the screen. The Ultimate System 5D. Definitely not what you'd describe as a casual console in the slightest. That abomination has bred the most toxic, entitled, and overall garbage players of the last decade, as well as some of the best in the world overall. Yep. Daphne had to learn how to consistently talk shit somewhere, and she definitely didn't pick it up from Apollo. You've never owned that console, lucky you, but you've played on it a couple times at your old friend's house. It's been almost a year since the last time you did, however. You hope your muscle memory will be enough to carry you, assuming you retained any past your transition. As you're inspecting the console while waiting for the main menu screen to pop up, Daphne whispers in your ear in an almost conspiratorial fashion.
Listen to him. He just doesn't want to be next in line. The chopping block is all.
Uh-oh, can you hear me?
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry. My brother's a big softie, even in video games. If there's any fighting involved, he just frees up like a popsicle. I hope you'll be able to provide me a better challenge. I've been tired of stomping angry losers on the ladder.
You never played online on this system, but she definitely sounds like someone who regularly does. She doesn't look like such a player, mind you, but the attitude checks out. Can you can it with the trash talk? It's not going to stop you from getting wrecked, you know. You hope.
Huh. Feeling real confident today, aren't we? Alright, I'll let my Joey stick to the talking. At least until I'm done thrashing you.
Thank goodness for that. You never could stand people who boasted twice as much as they played, even if they were probably better than you at the game. Well, the game boots up. The two of you take a seat on the sofa. Your controller's already in your hands. The couch is barely big enough for you both, but you somehow manage to retain some space between you two as you sit down.
So, how experienced are you, Reaper's Scythe?
Reaper's what?
It's a competitive game from a few decades ago. Real competitive. Official servers have been down for quite a while, but local multiplayer is always an option. Unless you ever play something more mainstream.
This could be tougher than you expected, but you're strangely fine with it. Nah, I'm up for the challenge. Can't be all that different from Masters of Warriors 3. 4.
Masters of... Oh boy, you're really gonna get it, huh?
Hey, we'll see about that. As the game boots up, the visual presentation catches you off guard. It looks like a retro-esque 2D fighter with stylized character models against highly detailed black and white backgrounds. You wonder whether your old friend Nim would enjoy this kind of game. The two of you played very few fighting games together, but you'd like to think you have something of a culture on the topic thanks to him. You pray that all those years of experience with him will be of any help against this new foul-mouthed opponent. As the first round begins, however, it is clear that you are sorely underprepared for what awaits you. Without any time to learn the control scheme or the moveset of your character, you're at the complete mercy of your opponent, who wastes no time mopping the floor with your pixelated remains. The first round concludes not even a minute after it began, with a resounding 1-0 for the ever-cocky human.
Need a hand?
Awfully nice of her to ask, as well as awfully late. No, I think I can handle this.
Let me know if that works out for you.
You vigorously shake your head like a fighter in the middle of an arena, trying to focus solely on the game before you and on beating the snarky little pest. However, concentrating proves to be harder than expected as the human begins conversing with you in between matches.
What's your name again?
Right, she still hasn't asked that of you, has she? Name's Isaac.
Isaac. Well, mine's Daphne. Good to meet you, I guess. So, what's up with your robot cosplay?
I don't know. What's up with you not having a nose? The human appears to take great offense at your lighthearted banter.
What are you talking about? My nose is right here.
She points at a blank spot on her face with her finger and starts twirling it around, as if to highlight a feature that isn't there. You can't tell whether she's being serious or not right now. Right. Well, to answer your question, this is no cosplay. I'm the real deal.
Real deal? I don't even know what that deal is.
Hold on. You've never heard about synthetics before?
Do I look like I have?
That's strange. It really puts that heated exchange in the hallway in an entirely different perspective. If she really doesn't know about synthetics, she can't hate them either, which means the only reason she was hostile to you at the start was because she thought you could be a threat to Apollo. That's quite understandable, actually.
So, can I explain yourself anytime soon? Or do you want your ass kicked again before you do?
You only now realize you managed to lose another round while you were thinking all that. Maybe focusing on 3 things at once is still a little too much for you. As you begin another match, you try to explain yourself to the inquisitive girl. Well, like I said, I'm a synthetic.
You're a robot?
An android. Big difference.
Look, I can barely tell trees and a fridge apart, alright? If there's a difference between those two terms, I can't see it.
I see. I guess I should have expected that. I was like that too before I turned this way.
Well, care to explain what I'm missing then?
That I'm alive, for starters. The look on her face is definitely worthy of the half-truth you spoke so convincingly.
You serious?
As much as you'd like to say yes, you realize that the truth is far more complex than that. Well, that's what we're trying to find out anyway, if I'm really alive, I mean. It's a long story.
We have time. It's not like we're going anywhere. Unlike those 2 idiots start making a YouTube video and are probably gonna have to stop soon because it's been 30 minutes already.
Oh, okay. Let me know when you want me to stop.
Yeah, don't worry. We can finish this little conversation.
Okay. I guess. Well, the short version is that I used to be a human, same as, well, not you. I was diagnosed with cancer and there was nothing they could do to help me. That's when a corporation called Pandora offered to shove my soul in this thing.
Unorthodox remedy for sure.
Yeah, the idea was that if they could somehow separate my soul from my body, I could live forever inside the synthetic body. Of course, we still don't know if I had a soul to begin with, which is why I'm not exactly brimming with enthusiasm right now.
Huh. And here I thought I had issues.
The girl looks pretty unimpressed with your story for whatever reason. You definitely expected a bigger rise out of her than whatever you got.
So, what if it turns out if you don't have a soul? Are you gonna shut down and die the moment you find out?
If that happens, I guess it'll mean that I really am fake. That the real Isaac died 2 weeks ago, alone and without his family. That I'm only deluding myself into thinking that I'm alive, when I'm really just another AI. An AI smart enough to behave like a human, but not smart enough to realize that it isn't human to begin with. As you ponder over this dreadful possibility, you see Daphne turn to face the other way, uncomfortable with the trouble she stirred up.
That sounds harsh.
You wouldn't say.
Hey, don't act like there's anything else I could say. Though I encounter stuff like this every day. I guess all I could say is, I'm sorry.
Judging from her expression, not even she seems to be fully convinced by her own apology. You suppose you can understand her. Your issues and struggles aren't relatable or easy to understand for most. At least she's trying to be supportive, which is more than you can say for most others you've met in the past few weeks. It's alright. Like I said, it's just a bad theory. I'm sure the scientists at Pandora will disprove it eventually. That said, it's probably best if we stop talking about it for now. Shall we get back to the game?
You mean the game I'm currently wrecking on? Your choice, but sure.
Oh. I'm gonna keep going.
We can stop here if you want.
Okay, I'll save it right here. Really, really interesting. She's a very, neat-looking character. I love her design.
Thanks. My artist absolutely fucking hates her face, and so does pretty much everybody. But I was very particular, more so than most of her characters.
Interesting. I know she's doing that, that cook thing that I see on a lot of anime characters.
Yeah, I took a lot of inspiration from like the Persona Q games style of showing characters.
Ooh, good choice. Love Persona.
Yeah.
Oh, but anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Sedge, thank you so much for reading with me.
No problem.
But anyway, guys,
You better write comments down
Oh.
below, because I love reading them.
okay.
Or else they mock you.
That is true. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell to the next video. I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!